work-related stress. We have with us this morning Eric Cruz. He's a life coach to help us with that. Good morning, Eric.
Hi, good morning, Miss Adeline.
So, Eric, is there one word that we can say so to reduce stress, like and then everything will be better?
Well, it's not as easy as that. I mean, we would all want that to happen. It's not as easy as that. It takes a lot of training and internal conviction to not be stressed. And there's commitment involved also in wanting a life that really works for you.
So I would think that it would also help if you know yourself well, right?
Definitely. There's a lot of personal mastery that is involved in gaining a better life for yourself, choosing to be happy and making things work for you, or going after your dreams.
Now, how do you know that you're already stressed?
That's a very good question. In Benedictine International School, where I teach, we always tell our students there are three signs that they're stressed: either fight, flight, or freeze. Fight is when you become angry. It's always on a fight mode.
Also, that's a fight when you're angry.
Yes. And then a flight, you leave your problems and also your work.
So, like avoidance.
Avoidance, yes.
Okay.
Like absenteeism, tardiness.
I see.
Yes. And freeze is a decrease in productivity. When you're unable to meet your targets at work or your projects in school, for example. So there's the three main considerations when you look at people and say, yes, this person is stressed.
Now, how about you yourself? Because sometimes it's already happening to you, but you can't really tell. It's only when another person will notice that. So how can you learn to identify that you're already stressed? I mean, this is not normal stress anymore.
The most common is that you lack focus. When you're unable to really focus on something, say for a few minutes or an hour on a project, that means you're very stressed. Or when you're looking for things to reduce stress, like drinking too much or resorting to other addiction, then that's already very serious.
Okay, so when you are already drinking too much, eating too much, I would think so.
Yes,
Eating too
even
much.
shopping,
So
actually.
anything that you do in excess already, and then, or if you're already forgetting stuff that you need to be doing,
Yes, putting things in order and priorities. When you're forgetting your priorities, then you're definitely stressed. You're not able to handle and manage your life anymore.
Okay, so how do we handle stress, Eric?
Yes.
Is there one way, or is it is dependent on the person and the situation?
When you're at work, there's what we call compliance versus commitment. A lot of people operate under the space of compliance, where they just think that they don't have a choice and they have to do it, and therefore they become stressed. So shift to the space, a more empowering one, where you have a choice and you commit to it, and then you go through it, exert 100% effort in doing it and achieving your goals. That's the time to really say that I am happy with what I do, and I'm happy with the gains that I get from what I do. So it's a matter of choice. Shifting from one that is not empowering to one that is empowering, which is choice. That's how you do it. But simple things like
Okay, let's cite an example.
Yes.
Okay, what are the usual causes of stress at work?
Demands, unable to keep up with the demands of the work. Control, which is also the lack of or inability to have a say in what you do at work. And relationships. People
Your colleagues.
Yes, people you need to work with, or you consider your second family.
Okay.
So these kinds of things. So how do you deal with these kinds of things? Number one, relationships. Establish very good relationships with people. Understand that you cannot change people, but also accept that collaboration is very important if you want to get things done. You can't just have it your way or the highway. It's not always like that. It's collaboration.
Now, you mentioned about the work, and what if it's your boss is stressing you out already, telling you to do all these things? How should you address that?
That's a very good question, because you cannot change your boss. Your boss is your boss, and the demands come from your boss. One, take a deep breath and see, clear your thoughts, and just say, yes, it can be done, and I can, on equal footing, I can say to my boss what I need to say. And it's just nothing personal. This is work, and this is nothing about me. These are not my issues.
Now, are there exercises or something that we can do regularly so that when a stressful situation comes out, you know what to do already and you won't be as stressed as you normally would have been?
I do suggest having regular breaks at work, either to walk, to drink a cup of water or a cup of tea, or maybe just short breathing exercise, maybe for 3 minutes. There is a breathing exercise that we call a cooling technique, which is like you breathe in like you're sipping through a straw, and then you breathe out through your nose.
Okay.
You do it several times.
Okay.
You hold your breath for 5 seconds, and after a minute or so, you're good again.
All right, so you can now face your boss or your
Definitely.
work or your colleague
With a smile.
with a smile.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Eric,
You're
for those
welcome.
tips. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That was Eric Cruz. He was giving us tips on how to handle work stress management. And so, Eric Cruz, life coach, thank you so much. And good morning once again. Now, from beating stress to beating the heat. Now, who says only